Good evening. And this is not Fun Day Monday, so all the students are here today. So, good evening. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network presents the DCTV 4-H Evening News Program for Tuesday, May 15th, 2008, with camera people Daniel Faulkner and Devin Harrison. Video engineer, producer, and sound engineer, Edward. Teleprompter and prompter, Myra. News anchor, Nicholas Husky. Meteorologist, Hannah Faulkner. And this is the news director. Who is the news director today? Today is Jose Manuel Rodriguez de los Santos. And now the news.
Welcome to the DCTV 4-H Kids Evening News Show. Help us keep our news show on there by becoming a sponsor. You can buy a sponsorship by calling 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now for the news. The story is from the Journal. In Bluff, the Silver Dollar Bar becomes the Bears Ears Education Center. 2.5 hours west of Durango, the small desert town of Bluff, Utah is experiencing a canyon country renaissance. A dozen new tourist cabins are going up. A 54-unit resort is being built. A former train post is a thriving restaurant, and the old Silver Dollar Bar, built in 1955, has found new life as the forthcoming Bears Ears Education Center Bluff. It's on the southwestern end of the controversial Bears Ears National Monument, and local residents Bluffoons are proud of. Everyone's going through Bluff, or just kept going, remembers Bureau of the Land Management River Ranger Larry Beck. A few Rivers runners stopped in, but it was lonely at the counter, often only me and the bartender. I used to walk to the bar and then walk home. I liked to joke that when I left Bluff, that the poor bar might go out of business with my departure. That was in the 1980s. The tourists passing through are now staying. Bluff is merging its wild destination between the Grand Canyon with its 5 million annual visitors and Arches and Canyonlands National Park with its 2 million tourists. National Monument status for Bears Ears, even with President Donald Trump shrinking it by 85%, has brought a whole new generation of canyon country hikers trying to avoid crowds and trying to find wilderness. Values of silence, solitude, and darkness, but there's no information center, no local source of maps, directions, suggestions through San Juan record reports that visitation to BLM lands in the southeastern Utah is up by 35%. To the north of Monticello, on its new campus, the Canyon Country Discovery Center orientates travelers to the entire Colorado Plateau. The BLM has an office in town, but no place to host displays or to engage visitors. In blending the edge of the Cedars Museum, State Park does its superb job in interpreting ancestral Puebloan artifacts, with engaging exhibits on historic and prehistoric themes. But functions as a museum, not as a public lands visitors center. Upon Cedar Mesa, volunteers at the Cane Gulch Ranger Station do their best to answer questions, but in their small space, they are frequently swamped. So friends of Cedar Mesa are raising funds and donating labor to do what the federal government does not have the budget or staffing to accomplish. Meanwhile, Bears Ears National Monument status and boundaries are in turmoil. President Barack Obama's 1.35 million acre monument may become Trump's small units of just two areas, a Sashwauja monument along with Comb Ridge north of the Bears Eaters Buttes at close to 9,000 feet in the famous climbing sandstone spires of Indiana Creek. Tribes, environmental groups, and partners in the outdoor recreation industry are suing over Trump's unprecedented action, which has brought parallels in the history of 1906 Antiquities Act. Right now, it feels like the Bears Eaters Education Center is one of the only positive things happening for the monument. The incredible national support we've seen in the center indicates people's hunger for positive and proactive actions to take place on behalf of the public land, said Amanda Podmore, Assistant Director of Friends of Cedar Mesa. It's exciting to turn the historic bar and community space into a venue where visitors and locals and friends from everywhere can belly up for information about how to visit Bears Ears with respect. The song source from the Journal. Dove Creek track teams turn in solid performances in Pagosa Springs, competing against athletes from 13 other teams, members of the Dove Creek High School boys and girls track teams performed well at the Terry Alley Invitational in Pagosa Springs on May 5th. Among the top finishers for the girls' team was senior Larissa Randolph, whose blistering time of 17.52 seconds in the 100-meter hurdles was good enough to earn her top honors in the event. Also performing well in 100-meter hurdles were Kobe Beanland, who placed third overall, 18.00. Madeline Akins, who crossed the line fifth overall, 18.74. Other strong performances by members of the girls' team in running events came courtesy of Bridge C. Elite, who placed eighth in the 800-meter run, 7 minutes 48.13, and Aspen Keibel finished ninth in the 16-meter run at 8 minutes 0.92. The top performers for Dove Creek in the throwing events include Cassie Gatlin, who placed second in the shot put, 22 feet 9 inches, and eighth in the discus, 87 feet and 10.5 inches, and Michaela Hankins, who finished seventh in the discus. The Dove Creek girls team finished fourth in the 14-team event and 48 total points, with the Pagosa Springs placed first with 1 or 2 points. On the boys' side, Dove Creek led by J.D. Dennison, who placed third in discus 118 feet and 1 inches, fourth in the shot put 38 inches and 3 1/4 inch. Walker Kessler also enjoyed a solid day with a fifth place finish in the 100-meter dash, 12.30, a seventh place finish in the triple jump, 32 feet 4 1/4 inches, with a 8th place finish in the 200-meter dash, 25.94. Austin Crotch is the line 7th in the 300-meter hurdles, 52.47. And Daniel Faulkner placed 9th in the 400-meter dash for Dove Creek, which finished 9th overall in the boys' stallion with 28 total points. Next up for both Dove Creek teams will be in the Grand Junction Tiger Invitational in Grand Junction on May 10th. Would you like to take a bow in front of the camera, Daniel? Come on! Come on!
Hello.
Hey, you gotta bow. Come back here, Daniel. Now you gotta bow. Zoom out. Zoom out, Devin. Zoom out. Now bow, Daniel. No, you gotta bow. You gotta bow. There you go. The story is from the Denver Post. Colorado logs $106 million in recreational cannabis sales in March of 1 month. Colorado's recreational marijuana sales set a new monthly high in March. State's cannabis retailers sold cannabis. I apologize for mispronouncing that. The state's cannabis retailers sold $106 million in flower, edibles, and concentrate for adult use purposes during March, according to the data released Wednesday by the Colorado Department of Revenue. In total, the shops tallied up $135.2 million in sales during the month, up 3.7% from March 2017. The monthly haul consisting of $29.2 million of medical marijuana sales and roughly $106 million in recreational sales. During the first quarter total, up to $365.7 million, an increase of 6% from the first 3 months of 2017. The latest stat epitomizes the ongoing sales trend in the Colorado maturing marijuana industry. Recreational sales continue to take bigger pieces of the pie. The industry is still growing, but no longer by leaps and bounds. Economicists and analysts have projected that Colorado marijuana sales should continue to grow, but at a far slower rate than the double-digit increases in legalization's early days. Sales could grow. Additional municipalities opt to allow legal cannabis programs, but expectations are that eventually plateau and the cannabis industry will behave much like the established consumer-driven sectors. Through March, Colorado has collected upward of $65 million in taxes and fees from marijuana sales, according to calculations state revenue data made available Wednesday. Now for dumb laws in Wisconsin. State law made it illegal to serve apple pie in public restaurants without cheese. While cheese making requires the license, Limburger cheese making requires the master cheesemaker's license. It's illegal to kiss on a train. It is illegal to cut a woman's hair. Marijuana Mary Jane margarine may not be substituted for butter in restaurants unless it is requested by the customer. Butter substitutes are not allowed to be served in state prisons. The government may not prohibit manual flush urinals. Whoever, when R2 trains me at intersection of said tracks, neither shall proceed until the other has. Us people used to smuggle it from Illinois. All yellow butter substitutes is banned. At one time, margarine was illegal. One may not camp in a wagon on any public highway or risk a fine up to $10. It is a Class A misdemeanor to wave a burning torch around in the air. It's illegal to throw rocks at a railroad car. Livestock out of the right of way on public roads. Now here's weather with Hannah.
Our current weather data comes from the DCTV weather station located in the beautiful downtown Dove Creek. The current temperature is 75 degrees. Today's high was 76 degrees. Today's low was 46 degrees. The barometer is at 29.8 inches and is falling. The humidity is at 12%. Wind is between 1 and 10 miles per hour from the southwest. Gusts have been up to 28 miles per hour. There have been 0.107 inch of rain measured today by the DCTV weather station. Moisture for the month is 62/100ths of an inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 2 inches and 60/100ths. Now for the big map, courtesy of the National Weather Service. There is significant rain activity in Oregon and Northern California. The southwest part of the nation is pretty clear, like here in this part of Colorado. More rain activity starts in northeast Colorado and takes parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. That part. And Texas. And much of another patch of rain in Missouri and tracking eastward to the Atlantic and dropping down to include the Virginias, Georgia, and Florida. This yellow patch in New England indicates severe thunderstorms as possible. Here's your exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. Wednesday, sunny, high 77, low 45. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 77, low 40. Friday, mostly sunny, high 73, low 42. Saturday, partly sunny, high 74, low 45. Sunday, partly sunny, 77, low 47. Now for your climate change report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability. The result is significant swings worldwide of hot and cool temperatures. But the general climate trend is that the planet is slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that we report the CO2 weekly change. The following are the CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week, 411.07. 2 weeks ago, 409.71. Last year, 409.44. 10 years ago, 388.77. 50 years ago, 325.57. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tanz of the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration and Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth website for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our kids' new show on air by buying a sponsorship. To buy a sponsorship, just call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to our news director.
And that is the end of today's DCTV 4-H Evening News program. We have one more program for this season, and then we will be taking our summer break with the students. But the news at noon will still be on all through our transition period, as we are now going to try and do some significant changes to the station, which may or may not take us off the air for maybe a week or maybe longer. So with that, good night, and thank you for watching.